Welcome, my friends, to the showdown between Bretonnia, who shall be led by the Fey Enchantress, and the Dark Elves, who are going to be led by a Dreadlord, and I believe that's actually the Sword and Shield variant, so you don't see that terribly often, but nonetheless, we'll take a look and see what it does. So as far as the build goes, it's going to be relatively standard Bretonnia. A couple, little tweaks here and there. So one of the things that is more standard against Dark Elves is actually using Foot Squires. But in this case, I wanted to try out Battle Pilgrims and see how they would actually function against like Bleak Swords and Dread Spears and things like that. Of course, they do have better melee defense and, just better base combat stats than Foot Squires, but you are lacking the bonus versus infantry and the AP. So you're giving up a little bit, but I just wanted to see how these guys would do. So as far as the build goes, we do have Mounted Yeoman Archers, and the Warden's just going to be poking. And, if there's like bolt throwers or archers in the back, it's kind of nice to have that dual utility kind of harass and poke. And against like Hydras, for example, you can see, of course, we're playing against the Great Falcon, and he loves his Hydra. So he's going to be coming in with the Chill of Sontar, the chillest of all the bros in the realm. So we're going to see how the Chill of Sontar does here against his missile pressure. Certainly going to be scary, but front line, just very wide, Bretonnian, Battle Pilgrims, Men-at-Arms, not much else to see there. A couple Men-at-Arms with polearms in the back, or not polearms, but with spears. And yeah, I guess you don't need a ton of extra AP against like I guess Dark Elf Cav is somewhat heavily armored if they go with like Cold Wind Knights and things like that. But against like Slaanesha's Harvesters and Dark Riders, I figured these guys would do the trick. So we have the Defenders of Flare de Lis here, as well as another group on the far side. So two groups of Knights Errant, and also we have two Grail Knights. So Grail Knights, a little bit out of my comfort zone with these guys. I don't use them terribly often, but I feel like they have good applications in this matchup. They're going to be able to mulch Slaanesha's Harvesters and Doomfire Warlocks. They can pretty much beat down all of the Dark Elf Cav if used effectively. And of course, Dark Elves can circumvent that by using, different debuffs and magic and, support units like Spears. But nonetheless, we'll see how we do with them. So we got two groups of the Grail Knights. We do also have the Fey Enchantress, two groups of Archers. That is it. So for the forces of the Dark Elves, we got two groups of Shades. So these guys are quite sneaky, and they bring some good AP to the table. These guys hit like trucks against armored targets. Let me just adjust my chair real quick. So if he is able to get some pot shots against my Cav, that's going to be quite nice. They hit really, really hard. Front lines, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, pretty standard chaff. Slaanesha's Harvesters here as well. Cold Wind Knights. And what the hell does this character even do? You don't see it terribly often. Oh, she's actually on the horseback here. So she does have the strength through spite. Well, that's pretty good. It actually gives melee attack to all nearby troops. So if she's riding with like some cav units, they're going to become much stronger. That's really cool. And the Shield of Grand there. So she actually has some decent debuffs. Look at that. Something you don't see terribly often. So thanks to Falcon for bringing this. So yeah, it's going to be debuffing my cav by 12% and giving him melee attack. So pretty neat stuff, guys. So that's pretty much it. Chill of Sontar, a couple cav units. He does have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stealer and a Blade Wind in the back. And that's pretty much it. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and have some fun. So firstly, the Wardens are going to be shooting in, and he's certainly going to be throwing some shade, as we said while we were playing this game here. But they pop out. Of course, Shades do have the stock ability, so I was like, oh, I'm going to get some free shots on the Chill of Sontar, but nope, nothing is free in this cold, cruel world. And the Wardens in Montfort are going to be getting pounded by that Archer Fire. So you can see they're going to be running and cackling and trying to get away here, but I lost, 9 or 8 or 9. Yeah, it looks like 9 models in total. So it's not the end of the world. So we are going to be advancing here, trying to get in position. And it is a bit of a strange map. There's some like weird terrain blockers where you can't quite get into position. Same for him. You can see there's like this big thing that kind of separates his army here. So we're not going to be able to get as easy of a surround simply because we have to go like all the way around this terrain. But nonetheless, we're going to have our archers pouring into the Shades, which is good value. Peasant archers trading into Shades is quite good. Shades have less range, I think, at 130, and the peasant archers are 160. So that's a pretty good trade for Bretonnia, I would say. Now, the front line, the Battle Pilgrims are, of course, shielded. So if he decides to shoot against the Battle Pilgrims with the Shades, it's not going to be super devastating compared to like Foot Squires or something. So he gets a good volley into the regular Battle Pilgrims. And they do have shields, but look at the damage it does even with shields. Now, the Holy Wardens here do not have shields. So he scoots forward a little bit, I think trying to bait me in or maybe get some shots against my cav units, but for the most part, the peasant archers are responding and doing good work. Proud of those guys. Solid little peasant play right there. And we're just going to be pushing up with all our forces. The knights, in the meantime, are going to be kind of following up the advance and just waiting to see where they're going to charge. And, on the back, thought I would tickle the pickle a little bit and drop a comment not a comment, but the Chalice of Potions. I was like, is Falcon paying attention? I always ask myself this, and he always is. He's always paying attention. So he's able to dodge that. You can see the perfect 1-2 dodge right there. I was like, God damn it, I wanted that so bad. Now, this is a good situation for me. The Wardens and my Peasant Archers are going to be pouring into the Hydras. So the Chill of Sontar is definitely going to be taking quite a bit of work here. And you can see the Pilgrims are going to be surging into the front line, getting ready to fight, and also to get feasted upon. So we're getting some work in. The Hydra does overextend a little bit, so I have some Grail Knights who we will be charging in with. He was able to get a breath attack there and kind of pressure me. And now you can see the Holy Wardens on the flank are going to be charging in to fight these guys. And maybe I like changed the attack order at the last second. But a very nice Blade Wind's going to be coming in. So Blade Wind comes down there. Does some really good. Oh man, that is brutal. Wow, look at the cast. I did not think. Oh, it gets the Blade Wind gets the perfect rotation too. It goes like right down the formation. So awesome stuff there for Falcon. Nonetheless, though, I do get a decent countercharge coming in with my Knights Errant. We are able to hammer those guys. So we're basically just going to have a big Haggard pit fight over here. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I have a couple infantry units that can support as well. Now back in the main battle, you can see that the Chill of Sontar is down down to about 60%, but it is able to heal. We're pushing up the hill with the men-at-arms, as well as some defenders who are going to be supporting, and we're going to be taking a downhill charge here, but my cav do get the counter charge as well, so it's going to be an okay fight. But I think with Slaanesh Harvesters and the Cold Moon Knights coming in, it's going to be hard to win this one, actually. The Bretonnian infantry are just simply not going to hold. Now, back in the center, you can see the Chill of Sontar is going to be getting some serious hits from the Grail Knights. So we get a good engagement there. Chill of Sontar gets a huge heal, though. Wow, did it just get like a heal proc? I thought that only happened when it was low. I saw that like green explosion. But anyway, some of our Knights are going to be charging in. Grail Knights get a nice hammering charge into these guys. On the flank, it's just a sustained fight. You can see it's Cold Moon Knights fighting against Knights Errant and the Holy Wardens, who are still fighting somehow, plus the Battle Pilgrims. We are pushing back the Dark Elves over here and starting to get a bit of a surround. Granted, they don't have too many targets that we really need to surround, right? You can see we have a bit of a firing line here. Our archers are going to be pouring into the Chill of Sontar. That's going to be pretty important to kill this, because if I don't finish it, the thing is Falcon can run away with it and just heal it and then fight with the rest of his force and come back later, and it's going to be like another 1,000 HP I have to deal with. So if I'm not able to finish the Chill of Sontar here, it's going to be quite scary. The Grail Knights here are going to be holding up the enemy cav. You can see the Slaanesh Harvesters do take a charge, but he has Cold Moon Knights saturated in. A bunch of infantry. My spearmen are now getting into the fight. I'm pulling in the last of my reserves, but for the most part, he's done a really good job kind of supporting his various formations. In the back, my men-at-arms tried to get into the cookie jar. I was like, oh, maybe I can get on Shades and fight, but we weren't able to get back there. We do have a pit fight over here with the Holy Warden still going strong, despite just being blade-winded into the Shadow Realm there. But these guys are going to fight. They're trying their hearts out, but, you know, they're just kind of outnumbered at this point. Or not outnumbered, per se, but it's just going to be too much, I think, just because they took so much damage from that Blade Storm. Now, back in the main fight, Bounce Fire has gone pretty heavily into Falcon's favor. The Hydra is going to be pulling back, and a lot of my cav forces have been hammered. Slaanesh's Harvesters got into the back line and are able to jump onto the Wardens. Now, if we could pull them back, we have a couple Knights who are going to be rallying here in a second. We're probably going to be able to trap the Slaanesh's Harvesters and potentially kill them. So that's kind of my plan here, is to kite them back into the forest. And I pull back my Knights Errant here to kind of rear charge these guys. Another Blade Storm right there doing a little bit of work, but at this point we're going to take the fight. So the guys are going to be fighting Yeoman, the Fey Enchantress. Actually, I think it's in a moment we take the fight. We like pull back one more time, and then I think we get the Peasants over here. We try and do it, but the Grail Knights are coming in from the back. No, these are actually defenders. Could have sworn there was some Grail Knights in this fight. I guess they're a little bit later, but the defenders get the rear charge, which is good. Mark of Pain going down from Falcon, which is going to lower the melee attack, but the Wardens are coming in, Fey Enchantress coming in, so this is a nice catch here. We are going to be able to kill a relatively expensive unit, probably not taking too many casualties. The Grail Knights should be coming in just a second. I could have sworn there was a group coming in, but nonetheless, we have some Grail Knights who are going to go right up the pipe. I thought about going after the Hydra, but Falcon had two groups of Shades there, which were just in really good shape, so I was like, it's not going to happen. That's not going to work out. And Slaanesh's Harvesters in the back are taken down. We got Peasant Mobs coming in. We have the Favor of the Fae dropped it on the Yeoman Archers. That's how you know you're desperate. So we're really trying to take those guys down. Some Grail Knights here might be able to take a fight here, so they turn around and fight the Cold Moon Knights with the support of some Peasant Mobs. Not going to be a terrible fight for us, and you can see that the Velociraptor cav here are in pretty good shape. Their leadership's pretty much impeccable. Murderous Mastery has gone off here for the Dark Elves. We're trying our best to scrap here. We are able to break the Slaanesh's Harvesters, which is a nice grab, but it's simply not going to be enough, because the Chill of Sontar has healed up about 1,500 HP, like almost, and like, yeah, that thing coming back is pretty much just a nail in the coffin here. You can see the last of my forces are going to be getting slapped with just massive Overwatch fire from the Shades. And I think that's going to be it. I don't think there's going to be much else I'm going to be able to do. My cav coming in for one last final fight. Fey Enchantress here does get surrounded, and the Shades, coming in there, but she's not going to be able to fight this off. We got some Battle Pilgrims over here who performed okay. I mean, they were able to beat down Bleak Swords and Dreadspears relatively well. But again, being overwhelmed in the cav battles, plus the fire from the Shades and not being able to finish off the Hydra, it's much like if you're playing like Warhammer 40k in tabletop, for example. Let's say you're playing against like a Night List or something that has like a big distraction Carnifex type target. You pour in all your resources trying to kill it instead of the smaller stuff, and then if you don't quite get it, you're pretty much just going to lose the game. And I feel like that analogy here was quite similar. We put a lot of effort into killing the Hydra with our focus fire, plus a couple cav units really committing to it. And the whole time they were taking shade fire and really just getting punished, but we weren't able to get it. He was able to get away with it, and at that point, I think that was pretty much game blouses. And of course, he played very well with his casts and his charges as always. So well played. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this battle. It was certainly a good one, very, very fun. Bretonnia is one of my faction I need to improve on for sure, so I'm glad to have gotten some practice here. Now, in retrospect, I probably would keep the Wardens. I think they're pretty good. Get a couple groups of Foot Squires just to get a little bit more punch in the front line. I like the Knights Errant. Grail Knights, I'm just not that good with them. I would probably keep the Grail Knights, but I think they're good still. And the Mounted Yeoman Archers, maybe I would cut both of them and get one regular Mounted Yeoman. And then from there, just get more sustainability, more Peasant Archers. Like 4 Peasant Archers would be really good against his build. It would have probably killed the Hydra, plus given me more pressure against the Shade. So I think I needed a little bit of that. So very well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this showdown between the Bretonnians and the Dark Elves. Make sure to check out Falcon over on Twitch. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.